Hi everyone, welcome back to MOTOBLADE. Today we are going to do an installation of the Saddlemen road sofa on the Indian Chieftain Dark Horse. I'm going to show you guys what tools you'll need, how to do the wiring for the heated seat if you get a heated seat from Saddlemen, and how to install this seat on your bike. We'll get to all that right after the intro. So here we have some tools you're going to need for this installation. You'll need a Phillips head screwdriver, a pair of cutting nippers for cutting off wire ties. You'll need a pair of channel locks or pliers, or in this case I have a pair of robo grips. This is going to be for crimping some of our wire connectors. You're going to need 2 ratchets, a 10mm socket head, a 7/16 socket head, a 6mm Allen key, a 5mm Allen key. A T-handle 5mm Allen key is not required, but it may be useful when putting in the final bolt on the seat. Razor blade will also be helpful, along with some electrical tape. These wire terminals, ring terminals, are not required, but they are going to be incredibly useful. So if you have some of those, or if you can pick them up cheap at your local hardware store, I would highly recommend getting a few of these. You'll need 4 of them, and something to cut some more wire tape with if you don't have a razor blade. Alright, the first thing we're greeted by is a lot of packaging. Ooh, I already see that they included some extra goodies, including a hat. So along with just the road sofa seat, I also ordered the passenger backrest for my Indian trunk and the driver backrest for myself. Alright, so let's get into our goodies. First we have our Saddlemen hat that they included. That was nice. We also have included, looks like a rain cover. Oh, how nice. They included a rain cover, and it's custom molded with the spot for your backrest for the seat. Well, that was very nice. Get our main seat out here. Underneath the seat, we have some more paperwork. See, we have lots of wiring for hooking up the heating elements. And right here we have our heating switch for low heat, off, and high heat for both passenger and rider. Here we have our backrest for the Indian trunk. This is the hardware for our backrest, for the driver backrest. This is the back pad that goes under the passenger backrest. And here we have our driver backrest. And there's a storage pouch on the back. So, let's head over to the bike and we will get all of this installed. First thing we need to do is remove our old seat from the Chieftain Dark Horse. So we'll start by popping off our side panels. And to take off this bolt, you're going to need a 6mm hex key or Allen key. And just repeat the same process on the other side. The last bolt you'll need to remove is on the back on the fender. You'll need a 5mm Allen key to remove that. To remove your seat, lift up on the rear tab, put one hand under the front and gently slide it back, wiggle it a little bit as you go. What you don't want is for the seat to slam backwards and come in contact with the rear fender. Underneath of the bike seat is our bike computer. It was a bit difficult to get in here and film this and do it at the same time, so I have already removed the screws that held the bike computer in place. You have one negative, not screw, but a negative bolt that comes from near the front of the bike, and that is a standard Phillips bolt head. And then you have a hex bolt that holds the back of the computer plate down, and that uses a 4mm hex key. Once you've removed those, take your computer and gently tilt it forward. I have a small wire here that I'm using just to hold the computer up out of the way while I work under here. We just need to access the battery so we can attach our heating elements for the seat to the positive and negative terminals. You want to be sure when removing the computer and tucking it out of the way that the computer does not come in contact at any point with the positive terminal of the bike. That could fry your computer. The plastic base of the computer is okay, but not the metal casing of the actual computer itself on top of the base. You want to keep that isolated from the positive terminal. Underneath of the seat, you will have a massive cable mess when it first arrives. We've gone ahead and tidied that up with a few cable ties. And for each heating element, the rear heating element and the front, you will have a positive and negative for both of those. Now, Saddlemen says you can just attach these directly to your positive and negative terminals on your battery. We are taking it one step further and placing a ring terminal on each of these so we can easily screw them on to the terminal bolts on the battery and easily take them on and off if we ever needed to when accessing the battery. So we're going to demonstrate just how to put these on here to these ring terminals, and then we'll be able to get the seat on the bike. To put our ring terminals on, I'm going to slide our, in this case, one of our negative cables through here. Slide our blue sleeve back down here. Take our wire and fold it over on the terminal, just as an extra way to hold on to it. I don't have a crimping tool, so instead I'm using a pair of robo grips, channel locks, to crimp this down. Take a small piece of electrical tape and wrap it as tightly as you can around the junction. Then bring our blue sleeve back up and fit it over the terminal area. Repeat that process for your other 3 cables. While you still have your seat upside down, working on the bottom, this will be attached with a small cable tie. Make sure you clip that and save this. This is going to be used as our protective washer on the bike. You need to remove these 2 Allen bolts and flip this piece around. It was packed facing inward just for shipping. And there you go. To remove the computer, you'll need to remove the bolt from the negative terminal on the battery. And to complete this installation, we will now need to remove the bolt from the positive lead on the battery. This is done using just a standard Phillips screwdriver. Next, we're going to bring our leads over from our seat and attach them to the positive terminal on our battery. Now that our leads are attached, we can reinstall our positive terminal bolt. Now that we have our positive leads attached to our positive terminal, I'm going to go ahead and bring our computer back down, putting it back into the grooves at the front of the battery that hold the case. Bring it to the back, make sure we're not crushing our cables under here. And then we're going to reinstall the screw holding it down. And this uses a 5mm hex key. The last thing we'll need to do for hookup is take our 2 negative leads from the seat, put our bolt through them, and bring our negative battery lead back over to the negative terminal on the battery. Alright, once you have your positives and negatives hooked back up, this now just becomes a nightmare in cable management underneath of here. You want to make sure you don't have anything resting on top of the computer because your seat is going to come down on top of here and you don't want stuff getting crushed. We've managed to do some decent cable management under here. Keep everything fairly well organized. The fuses I'm going to put down here next to the positive terminal. These wires I'm going to set in here behind the computer.
this guy?
Yeah, I'll deal with him in a minute. I don't care right now.
That's pretty good, man. I think that's almost just right.
Okay. That was a little more of a pain in the ass than it should have been. So after a few moments of cursing and swearing, trying to get the seat actually lined up and on, it finally went. I have no idea what the cables look like under there. They're probably pinched, but not a whole lot I can do about that. This little cord coming out the back here slides in and out easily. That's for my trunk hookup. We're going to put our rubber washer, included from Saddlemen, under there. And our bolt and washer that we took out from the stock seat on top. Got it. Got it. We engaged the threads. Good. Once your seat is installed, mine came with a driver backrest. Lift the pocket, take the bolt out, slide this bracket in, put the bolt back through. Now, we were having an issue trying to test fit this and get this down inside of the seat. The nice thing about the Saddlemen backrest and seat is you don't need the additional backrest mount down inside of the bike like you do if you order it from Indian. The seat has the backrest mount built in. But we were not able to get this down all the way. We didn't really want to beat on it until we knew for sure, but after reading the instructions, which we don't often do, it said to firmly grasp it and to slam it down into the seat. And they didn't say slam, but that's essentially it. And you can adjust it to 3 different positions if you're tall, average, or midget. Line it up, firmly grasp it, and there you go. The seat can rotate up like that if you need to adjust the backrest angle. And it can also fold forward so your passenger can get on easier. And in the back of our backrest, you have a nice pouch for your passenger to put their phone, wallet, money, guns, weed, whatever you're smuggling. It's a good spot. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. It's a big red button down there. Click the bell icon next to it. That'll give you guys notifications when there are new videos to watch right here on MOTOBLADE. I have lots more installation videos coming up, and if you haven't already seen my trunk and audio installation video, be sure to go check that out. I'll put a link to it in the description and up here on the screen. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.